The following podcast is brought to you by the Geeks 2 Network, and all opinions are those of the hosts. Listener discretion is advised. It's time to talk wrestling. This is the Dave Dynasty Show.
And welcome to the Dave Dynasty Show. This is your host, Dave Dynasty. I am joined, as always, by my co-host,
Ike Isaacs.
Unfortunately.
Howdy.
So, yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening, however you do, whether it be iTunes, SoundCloud, or YouTube. And whichever means you use, please make sure you subscribe or follow us. Like, comment, and share. If you listen on iTunes, please make sure you rate and review us. It does help us on the charts, and we appreciate it. And while we're doing our plugs, let's talk about our sponsors real quick. Of course, we have our primary sponsor, LuchaMaskUSA.com, for all your Lucha Libre needs direct from the luchadors themselves. They have everything, shirts, masks, I don't know what. It's everything. It's all kinds of stuff. So
a little bit of everything.
Best way to give back to the luchadors. So check them out. And then also Masked Republic. Make sure you check them out. Right now, if you go to luchaloot.com through the Masked Republic, subscribe to the Lucha Loot box, and enter the code Dynasty, you get 10% off of your first box. And if you go to luchashop.com, again through Masked Republic, and again you enter the code Dynasty, you get 10% off your order, excluding masks.
Excluding masks.
Those are handmade. Those are you can't discount those.
Little bit
Those
expensive.
are works of art.
Little more than our pay grade right there.
And of course, you're always shopping on Amazon, especially with Valentine's Day coming up and everything, and as we move forward. So if you do, go to DaveDynasty.com, top of the left-hand column there on the main page, you'll see an Amazon banner, or at the very top of the page, you'll see an Amazon button. Click that. You go to our Amazon affiliate. You go to Amazon.com through our affiliate link. And, no additional charge to you. You shop on Amazon. We get a little kickback. We appreciate it. It helps with the production. Thank you to all those that use that link. There we go. That's all that. And speaking of DaveDynasty.com, you can go there and find all of our social media links. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever else we have. It's all right there, including the archives for all the past episodes. So, DaveDynasty.com is the hub.
Yeah, so
you can even find a link to Mance Warner's Twitter and the moron sitting across from me recording.
Hey.
You can see his link to his Twitter. The only reason you need to follow him is to completely flame him online.
Hey, it's good stuff on there, man. You know, I've had a little bit of back and forth with a couple people, but
it is something. So hey, we have all kinds of stuff to talk about. Let's see, what are we talking? I don't even remember what was our topic.
Oh, I have no idea. I know nothing until I get on here.
We were going to talk about the lost art of selling.
That's right, selling. Actually, I remember seeing that.
Yeah. But before we get to that, let's go over. We don't really do headlines, but there's just so much. We have to discuss some news. There's just so much stuff going on. Let's just talk for a minute about it.
Yeah.
And let's start with what we spoke of last week that we were just missing being able to talk about, and that is the Royal Rumble. The surprise winner, in my eyes at least.
Yeah, I
Randy Orton. That was I couldn't believe it. I was surprised that he won. I don't know. I'm not sure where they're going with this. With him winning, I think it's kind of cool. It threw us for a curveball because when Roman Reigns came out at 30, I thought, fuck, Roman's winning.
Yeah,
and I was about to just piss all over my TV. But no offense to Roman, just don't like him.
Well, I saw this meme. It was like, cause there's like a picture of the crowd cheering Samoa Joe, and it shows Vince McMahon like looking stupid. It's like Samoan sends out Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, pretty
much. Of course, the big rumor is the 30 spot was hopefully going to be Finn Balor.
Yeah.
That he got checked. It was not quite clear to return. He's still ahead of where he's predicted, so they couldn't do that, so they threw Roman in. But it was okay. He didn't win.
Yeah, exactly.
So no harm, no foul, I suppose. It's great watching all the reactions of people when Roman came out at 30 that they're all over online. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they just don't turn the dude heel.
I thought he was a heel. No,
in
maybe.
everybody's eyes he is, but except for the WWE, I don't know.
Old Vince.
I guess Vince got a hard on for him. I don't know, but it's his company, I guess. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble. I got hopefully a gut feeling that they're moving this to the eventual match split with Bray Wyatt. Maybe,
Yeah.
perhaps with Bray as champion.
Well, I mean, if you
That would
put
be sweet.
I mean, if you put the belt on Bray at Elimination Chamber, you have a perfect setup for WrestleMania.
Would be good. I think Bray deserves a little run as champ. It
Yeah.
would set it all up perfect for him and Orton because, Orton's got the shot. Bray would, give a little dialogue about how, he's not going to take the shot because it's in the family, and Orton's like, fuck off.
Exactly, and that's a
I'm
split.
taking my shot, and I don't know.
I think that'd be good, though.
But I don't know. Maybe that's where they're going. Maybe not.
I wasn't supremely surprised, or I wasn't supremely excited about him, winning per se, but I can deal
Randy
with
Orton?
it. Yeah.
See, on the one hand, I wasn't because I'm not a big Randy Orton. He's okay. I'm just not a big fan.
Yeah.
But I won a T-shirt out of it, so I'm happy because JP Meyer on Facebook had a little contest. I drew 32. 32 came out and was Randy Orton. Or 32. 23. Hey, there is no 32. 23 came out and was Randy Orton. I thought, oh, God. Well, I'm not going to win. And I won. So it got me a very cool T-shirt. Thank you, JP, for that. That is awesome. Very, very happy guy here. Yeah, and then the next night on Raw, we had the debut of Samoa Joe / the disappearance of Seth Rollins.
Yeah. I was
So-
like the re-injury of Seth Rollins.
And everybody ragging, saying Samoa Joe's dangerous. Samoa Joe injured another person. It was a fluke. From what I saw, he just got caught up on the mat. It happened.
Yeah.
He turned the knee. It was already injured knee. Whatever. It is what it is. They're saying it's still not fully disclosed or maybe even diagnosed what it is. Best case scenario, he may be back in 6 weeks.
yeah.
Not too bad, but it could be longer. So we'll have to see. But it was cool to see Samoa Joe debut. I was very, very, very psyched about that.
That's the need to hear her in that house show Kane,
That's
right?
when he almost killed Tyson Kidd. What?
No, I'm talking about,
yeah.
And then, yeah,
Samoa
I know
Joe.
Samoa Joe did like that
But
powerbomb thing
it
to
is-
Tyson Kidd.
It's not ballet. It happens. I don't
Yeah.
blame Samoa Joe. Yeah, but it is what it is. It sucks that Rollins on the shelf. Kind of sucks we won't see Rollins Triple H, but at WrestleMania, they're saying the plan B might be Triple H Shane McMahon. No offense, but that's far less exciting for me. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Shane McMahon actually recovered from Survivor Series, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, and then let's see, in some news a little dearer to my heart, there's a couple of lucha things going on. I want to say just announced, but I don't know if it's been officially confirmed outside of Canada, but there are the suspicions, it's almost confirmed that Lucha Underground's coming to Netflix.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Just like any other show, it's going to be seasons 1 and 2. Supposed to be on February 15th, so very soon. That will be awesome. While I've watched seasons 1 and 2, I'll have to binge watch again.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I'm sure season 3, hopefully it goes well. Season 3 will be added after it's concluded, which season 3 picks back up in May. Very exciting because they said summer 2017, so everybody's suspecting it'll be July, August, but May, even better. I don't know, season 3's kind of been a little bit of a disappointment, not been very good, so hopefully the second half picks up.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to, if they do, if this does mean now with the Netflix deal, a little fundage or so on, means season 4, because El Rey's happy because it draws good ratings for them, so I'm sure they're going to keep with it. There's all kinds of talk about who will be in the tapings because also some big lucha news is we had Pentagon Jr., Daga, and Garza Jr. all just up and left AAA.
Yep.
Showed up at the crash in Tijuana.
Tijuana,
Man, all kinds of
Mexico.
news. This is a very cool thing. If you did not see it, Google it. It's a cool thing. But these guys showed up. It was pretty badass. Pentagon rode on the side of a motorcycle with a helmet on. It was pretty cool. It was all good stuff. But so yeah, and then to top that off, there's all these rumblings about AAA filing trademarks on their new names that they're using now, and which were they never used in AAA. So it's like a douchebag, dickhead move on AAA's part, trying to block. It's just they had a press conference that said it is what it is. We wish them well. They're gone. Okay, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Penta and these guys are saying they're not wishing us well. They're trying to block us from working and make money, whatever else. So
Yeah, because can they legally do that?
you can file a trademark for anything you want.
Oh.
I mean, if you file trademarks on a name you might potentially use or whatever else, they own the Pentagon Junior name and Pentagon name and the Phoenix name. Those were their things. Well, they file guys a lot of times when they come to them without their knowledge. They file for their names.
Okay.
A lot of guys don't they don't necessarily worry about it. I mean, it's not that never comes up, but they own the Pentagon name because there was a Pentagon before.
Yeah.
Which is okay, but then when he changed to the Penta Cero Miedo name, because they own the Cero Miedo because he was always using that, so they trademarked that. And but he's never went by that in AAA, so they just did it. You have to think, what else would they be doing it for? Is other just try to block them and tie them up and cost them money?
Yeah, exactly.
And if that's the case, fuck you, AAA. That's just a dickhead move.
It's a dick
fucking
move.
Let it be. Worry about your, like one of them, I think it was Garza Jr., one of them said they're spending money on this or spending money on that. One of them claimed that AAA tried to pay money to stop a show that, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. And these guys are like, fuck, just take the money and pay your guys a little better, make them a little happier, and let's move on.
Yeah.
AAA needs to worry about the roster because now it's depleted and looks like shit. They need to get guys in.
Yeah.
But if they are just trying to hold these guys up, whatever, fuck you, God almighty. Just fucking get over it. Quit putting fucking Dave the Clown in the main event. Sign somebody decent and move on. You fucked up. You lost your talent. Well, you know what? There's other talent out there. I don't know who's going to come now, though. Everybody's getting screwed and complaining about who's going to go work for them.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, like, they don't have a very good reputation right now.
No, they don't. And these guys, what they're realizing is these guys, all these opportunities that were coming up for these guys in the U.S., and AAA controls their bookings. Their outside bookings because they're under contract. And, I think it was Garza Jr., or maybe it was Daga. I don't know. One of the two said in an interview that, they were talking to promoters. There was a date, and the promoter would come up somewhere that the day, I contacted about you, and AAA said you were booked somewhere. And they're like, dude, we're sitting at home doing nothing. I could have worked the show. Why are they?
Yeah. So
it's costing them money. So, man, it's a huge thing. AAA needs to get their shit together, or they're going to disappear.
Yeah, definitely. I think if when you have a wrestling business, I think one of the most important things is that, first of all, your talent is happy. If you're screwing your talent,
there's got to be the balance of them being happy and satisfied and content to not losing control. You don't want them in
Exactly.
control. But they're fucking on buses for 10, 12 hours. They're getting left at places. They're not getting food and room coverage like they should be. A wrestler gets hurt in another town 10 hours from home and he can't find a ride back. And because it's just bullshit stuff. It's like fucking basic
decency
things that should be covered. And it's crazy. And, I don't know. But it's funny to me that now AAA's in this situation where these guys are defecting, jumping to the Crash, who's now the Crash is getting hot, getting grown, supposedly going to try to get a TV deal. That's a whole complicated thing in Mexico. But anyway, when AAA was founded by that same thing, guys that defected from CMLL formed their new group, were the hot thing. So it's like, I guess it bites you in the ass.
Yeah,
Conan's involved in a lot of this. He's, involved with the Crash, and he, he has influence on people. People like him. He can give people things, I guess, and they trust him, whatever else. But, So, hey, speaking of Conan, I got a little shout out on Keeping It 100.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, joined the Patreon thing to get some of that exclusive thing because I'm a lucha guy. So they have some cool, exclusive stuff. So I give a little bit of money and appreciate the shout out. Kind of cool hearing my K-Dog say my name. A little mark out moment for me.
There you go.
I like Conan. I like Mexican Conan. I don't like the later NWO weird gangster Conan.
I remember that Conan, the weird Conan.
Yeah, and that's what somebody said one time. Someone said something about driving his lowrider and this and that. He's like, dude, that was a gimmick. I don't really.
And he's like, I don't have a lowrider.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, anyway, that's enough news to talk about. Let's talk about at least for a moment. Let's talk about selling in wrestling. You hear two sides of this fence. Lots of people saying there's no selling.
Yeah,
there is a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where you take 50 fucking super kicks, you don't sell one of them, and it's whatever. It's become a high spot business a lot. Some people say if you cut back, slow down, a little more selling, it makes it more believable, and it does. And I think there needs to be more selling for sure. But since kayfabe's not around, the curtain's been ripped down.
Yeah.
Does it matter? I don't know. I mean, it is weird. I do get tired of everybody kicking out of all these finishes all the time.
Yeah.
It's like finishers don't even matter. Except for an RKO. Nobody kicks out of an RKO.
Yeah, so nobody kicks out of an RKO.
That's the one thing. It's weird. But, you get a match, and when you do it now and then, it's this moment. It's like, oh,
yeah,
fuck, you kicked out. When you're doing it all the time on every Raw, every match, it's like, I don't care anymore.
When John Cena's putting the attitude adjustment on you like 6 times, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like 6 times in a row.
It used to be called the FU, but I think they had to clean it up.
And you keep kicking out of that. I mean, you start thinking, okay, well, that the attitude adjustment isn't shit.
The fact of the matter is this: I think they need to, except in very, very exclusive moments, do away with kicking out of finishers.
Yeah.
You hit it with the finisher, you're fucking pinned. Match is over.
Yep.
Unless you're near a rope, you can tie something if you need to. A big ass match on a WrestleMania or a big ass match somewhere where you need that little shot, you can do it every now and then. Don't do it time and time and time and time again.
Because you're taking away the speciality out of things like a finisher.
It's not a finisher. It's not a key move or whatever you want to call it, whatever term you want to call it, if it doesn't work anymore.
Exactly.
But it's just like anything else. But if you want a little bit of shock value and a little bit of, I kicked out, then you can do it with kind of those next tier moves.
Yeah.
There are some big moves, and it's like, I kicked out. I can't believe he kicked out.
Like a superplex.
You could sprinkle some of that in.
Yeah.
And stuff. But, yeah, there needs to be more selling because, I'm not saying you have to do away with all the high spots. They just need to be a little better paced.
Yeah.
And if you spend 10 minutes doing moves that work on someone's neck or someone's arm, and then the next thing you know, that guy bounces up and he's using that arm, well,
what the
hell was the point?
You just spent the last half of the match beating up his leg, and now he's walking fine.
Here's the deal. If you watch a fucking movie and they spend an hour and a half giving you this story, building to something, and then the finish has fucking nothing to do with anything you just watched, you're going to say, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything? It doesn't matter, If you watch a fucking space movie about fighting fucking aliens and then at the end a fucking My Little Pony comes out and kicks your ass,
you're just like,
what
wait,
the fuck? I just wasted my time. That makes no sense. You're a dumbass.
Yeah.
If you tell a fucking 15-minute story in a match and then you completely throw that away and go to something different, you should have the same reaction.
I remember, actually, this was a funny story. I was thinking about it. There was, I can't remember who was in the match, but they had been working on part of the body, and they even put that part of the body in a submission hold, and they didn't tap out. And the match ended up in a pin. And I was like, well, you just spent half the match with this guy slamming his leg against the post and stuff like that. I mean, you should end it with that.
And there can even just be simple things. If you work an arm for 15 minutes and that guy, the adrenaline gets pumping, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You fire up the guy, hammer. Okay, if you're working the right arm the whole match and he hits a right-handed punch, fine, he threw the punch. But then that guy that threw the punch needs to fucking sell the arm.
Yeah.
Shit, why'd I do that? Why shouldn't have used
it?
Okay, you threw the punch. It happens. It was in the heat of the moment. But then don't forget that your arm was hurt. At least say, shit, that hurt me too.
Yeah.
It bothered me too. It's just little, some little stuff, some facial expressions, and just a little bit of shaking the arm off, trying to get some feeling back. Just little things. Just put it back in there.
Yeah.
Don't ignore what happened and say, okay, what was my script that we worked out? And what do I have? Let's fucking go with the crowd. Call the match in the ring. Fucking maybe people don't believe anymore. Or maybe they don't know. That's all right. Make it look believable.
Yeah.
Because you get emotionally invested if it feels believable. And again, this is not an anti-high spot brand because that stuff's I dig it.
Yeah,
it's okay, but I love dives. And I watch fucking Lucha Libre, right? And I love it, and I love shit like that because that's where that shit came from. It came from Mexico. It came from Japan. That's great. I love it. It's my thing. But I don't need to see every match have 5 dives in it.
Yeah.
Because then by the time you get that 5th, that 6th match, and that 30th dive of the night, you're like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it. I mean, there just needs to be some common sense, some balance about it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not going to sound like one of these crotchety old guys that says everything's a joke, because it's not. Just the thing,
I remember my day when you ended a match with a suplex.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could, right? But that's the thing. You said John Cena's attitude adjustment?
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Is it not just kind of like a body slam?
I have no idea.
On the shoulders? So why is that more effective? I mean...
It's like a modified fireman's carry, really.
Yeah, but is it not pretty much the same motion, same effect on the person as a body slam? So what's the...
Maybe it's because... I don't know, John Cena.
But again, that's always been that way.
John Cena, fuck your logic. Like,
it's not just Cena. It's always been that way.
But like,
you do moves that look more devastating than your finish move with the finish.
Like a power bomb. Like, I mean, like I would think a power bomb would hurt more than like the attitude adjustment. Or even a
that
suplex.
A powerbomb should be a finish.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, to me, I don't know.
But I mean, like, not all power bombs though. I mean, if you think about it,
maybe not.
like a pop-up power bomb, yeah.
But that's again, if you want to throw a finish in without the end of the match, say you hit the pop-up power bomb, say you hit it, well, it comes out of nowhere because Kevin Owens has been getting his ass kicked for 10 minutes. He hits pop-up power bomb, but he just drops too.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like I'm still out of it. I just pulled that out of nowhere. That's everything I got. There's no pin. All right, you hit your move. Fuck, you should have won the match because that was it. The guy lays there for 10 seconds, but he didn't have enough to make the cover.
Exactly. That kind of stuff makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are guys that get stuff. They're better about it. Owens is better about it.
Yeah, Owens is good about it.
And again, it just, I don't know. To me, part of it harkens back to that so many guys, they don't get the time and the experience on the independents, on the road, working it, all these different venues, all these different crowds, all these different scenarios of having to do different stuff to get the same reaction.
Yep.
To feed off that crowd. There are so many guys that get there so quick, or so many guys that were not wrestling fans or don't watch wrestling, don't understand some of this stuff, and some of that you can't teach at the Performance Center. So, and I'm not saying this with everybody, because some people, they can get it. They understand. It's great. But there are some people, it's like, they look like $1 million, but they got a 5-cent head, as they always say, just can't get that shit, And everybody says, their offense, certain things look good. Well, yeah, but fucking 75%, that's the person taking it.
Exactly.
So it's like, depending on the move. So it's like, what are they doing? And
because, like, for instance, like most of these moves, it's like a power bomb. I mean, you're part of the equation, but who's really helping with the momentum there, or with the suplex?
Once upon a fucking time, though, if you kicked out of somebody's finisher or didn't sell something, you were going to get your ass kicked for real.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that needs to happen, but all I'm saying, here's my thing. Here's my take on the situation. There were many, many, many wonderful, magnificent things about old school wrestling.
Yep.
I grew up through old school wrestling. I fucking love that old school wrestling. There's so much about it. There are so many good, fucking wonderful things about wrestling today in the modern style. I am a huge fan. I love it. Let's put the two together, have a little bitty bastard baby, and take the keys out of both and make something even better. Definitely. That's how it evolves. We've got this old way that we did things. We got this new way we're doing things. Both have pluses. Both have minuses. I understand it's a new time. Let's take all those pluses. Let's put them together, and let's take it to the next level.
Yep, I agree.
We can keep some of our big moves, some of our spectacular moments, and whatever else, but let's put a little more selling, some more believability, more facial expressions, and for the love of fucking God, quit scripting every goddamn promo and let the guys talk.
Yeah, right.
If you can't fucking talk, then tell them to shut up or give them a manager.
I remember the old days when The Rock used to talk.
And you can tell when you watch the show who can talk and who is just fucking be given a script and they get lost. Tell a guy, okay, make sure you hit A, B, C. We want you make sure you mention those things. Go do it. If they can't fucking do it, take them off TV.
Yep.
Or give them a manager that can speak for them or do something. Mm-hmm. But God, when they're out there and it sounds like they're reciting a fucking play in the 7th grade, it's ridiculous. It's no believability. And it does nothing.
That's one of the things.
It bores me.
Yeah, that's one of the things I used to love about old wrestling. You got your Shawn Michaels, who he could talk. You had Rock, he could talk. I mean, hell, even Mick Foley could talk. And that dude,
nobody's talking, nobody's promos, nobody's anything have character to them anymore. It's not everybody. It sounds the same because they're all being scripted. They're all just reciting. There's no emotion, so it doesn't do any character development.
Yeah,
they're so and
that's why I love Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, well, character development doesn't have to mean that this guy's a clown or this guy's a garbage man or it just means, this fucking guy's a hothead. He's a short fuse. He fucking gets worked up about nothing. This guy's methodical. He's calm. He's, it can be just vocal tones and what? Fucking put them in theater. Let them learn how to play a character and play a role and get something across. And
that's why, while I don't credit him much, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he can act to an extent.
Well, of course he can act.
And if you look at it, you can see why. You look at his old wrestling and stuff. He played a character, and then he goes into the acting film. He's an actor now, mostly.
So many guys want to look good. They want to make their buddies say, "Oh, that was awesome," and everything else, and they forget the whole goddamn purpose is to work the crowd.
Yep.
Whether it be with the moves, whether it be with the presentation, whether it be with the talking, it's all about working the crowd. That's what it is. That's what you're there for. Those are the people that fucking spend your money. You want them to spend more money. You want them to come back. You want them to watch your shows. You want them to buy your T-shirts. They don't give a fuck.
Yep.
If your buddy in the back says, "Oh, that was awesome," they want, and you're only going to work them and get them invested if you make them emotionally invested. Nobody gives a shit if they say, "Oh, it's this guy. I just watched this guy in the match before. They're the same fucking thing. I don't care."
Yeah.
There's nothing different. Nothing that sets you apart. And, so it is what it is. But that's what I think. Let's take the old school. Let's take the new school. Let's make them sleep together. And let's make them have a little bastard baby. And let's take the keys off both and make something better.
I agree.
Woo! Who we got today on the interview? We've got Johnathan Wolf.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was Johnathan Wolf. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, we have Johnathan Wolf, and we're going to take a break because I got a little worked up there. And I need to get something to drink, and we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have that interview with Johnathan Wolf. Stick around.
Visit LuchaMaskUSA.com for official high-quality Lucha masks and merchandise, straight from the luchadors themselves. They have a huge and always growing inventory, so check back often. That's LuchaMaskUSA.com.
And welcome back to the Dave Dynasty Show. Today, I am joined with another amazing young talent, Johnathan Wolf. How are we doing today, man?
I'm doing just fine. How you doing?
Pretty great, pretty great. All right, so as always, thank you for coming on here. We always enjoy having wrestlers on here because, of course, we're a wrestling podcast. But also, you're actually part of a pretty interesting lineage here because you were a third-generation wrestler from a family who has run shows in the Midwest since before you were even born. So what are some of your earliest memories of wrestling because of that?
Oh, geez, earliest memories. I can just remember like every weekend at like the ages like 4 and like 5, just going to shows with my dad and meeting like all these great wrestlers, like good one, Dean Ambrose Moxley. I've met him so many times. I remember watching him, Ricochet. I remember watching him when he first broke out in the Midwest because he's from Kentucky and all that.
Oh wow!
I got exposed to so much great wrestling when I was younger because of my dad, and
yeah, definitely.
Because a lot of them wrestled for a company called IPW.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was a really good experience for me.
Yeah, definitely, and that's actually really cool. Definitely being a part of that lineage probably also gave you a good predisposition to wanting to wrestle.
Well, actually, the funny thing about that is, like, I didn't even want to wrestle.
Really?
Like, yeah, because, like, by the time I started getting around, like, age 8 and 9, I seen it so much I got bored of it. Like, I was just constantly at shows. That's all I ever knew was wrestling and all that. I knew that forever. I actually wanted to be a baseball player because I was really good at baseball. I played that for, like, 13 years before I even thought about getting in the ring. Like...
Oh, man.
I just got bored of it so fast because I was always around it.
No, that's definitely understanding. That's kind of how it was. I think that's how it is for a lot of people, is that, especially in the early 2000s, wrestling was starting to get kind of big, and especially also independent wrestling. So it's like, if you're predisposed to that so much, you're just going to be like, I'm good.
Yeah. That's just how it was. It was just so much.
Definitely, but I do understand. But on kind of the same thought process, we talked about your early memories and all that good stuff. When was it that wrestling hooked you?
The thing that wrestling really hooked me is actually when I first ever stepped into a ring and actually had a match.
Okay.
So that it all started we were doing a benefit show for somebody. And I was with one of my friends, Sean Kemp. He wrestles now, too. I was 12. He's 13, I think. Yeah, we started young. And we're sitting there, we're talking, and we're like, dude, how cool would it be if we actually had a match? So we sat there, and we, talked about it for a couple of weeks, and we finally, we should ask our dads. So we started asking our dads, and then they started thinking about it. They were like, 12 and 13 years in a ring, really? I don't think that would work. And then finally they got to thinking more, and they were like, well, we can give it a shot. And they trained us on like little stuff, and they put something together for us. And then we went to that Bitterfest show, and we did it. And ever since then, it was just like, that's what I want to do. I quit baseball and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, I played baseball for like 2 more years, I think, and then I quit it.
Oh, man. Well, hey, I mean, the best way to know you want to do something is to do it, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of mentioned that you are a part of a lineage. You're part of a family of wrestling fans, wrestlers, and just in general people who are fanatical about wrestling. So I kind of have partial of an answer, but were your dad and grandfather supportive when they knew you wanted to wrestle?
Oh, yeah, they were 100%. They were like, well, I should have was coming sooner or later. So, yeah. My mom, on the other hand, she wasn't too fond of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of a mom thing, though. I think they're the ones that are like, no dangerous stuff.
Yeah. She wanted me to stay with baseball. She said swap paper.
Definitely. So did on that same mind there, did they ever have like any drawbacks or second thoughts about letting you wrestle? Did they ever think that there was a negative side to it?
I think there was like one of those is with my dad. He actually, I got hurt one time wrestling. It wasn't nothing major. It was like a little incident. And he started worrying because he started thinking about how many times he's got hurt by like little stuff and how it's turned into a big problem later on in his life. Like he hurt his knee just doing his entrance to the ring because he did like the little jump over and he landed in a bad spot, tweaked his knee. And it hasn't been like the same since. So he's just a little bit worried about that. He don't want me to be like grow up to be hurting like he does all the time for all the years he did it. So that was a little setback.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely, obviously wrestling is a very physical industry, so anytime you do anything, there's always the risk of getting hurt. And but definitely, I can understand that. I can see that. I can see it from that viewpoint. So, did they train you? Did your father and grandfather train you, or did someone else train you?
No, my dad trained me. He took full into that. Yeah.
Definitely. And then
my dad, like, I learned from a lot of people around in the India area. Like, it was like a mixture. Like a lot of people, like, there's like my dad was the main trainer, but I learned from like all the vets in Indiana, so they helped me a lot.
Absolutely. And I imagine that was probably a very good place to be when in terms of getting experience and in terms of getting in terms of getting a lot of information from like veterans.
Yeah.
I bet that was a very good spot to be in.
Oh yeah, it was a great spot because they all knew me from like back in the day when I used to come with my dad to the shows.
Absolutely.
So they were all like, very accepting because I just wasn't some random kid that joined the wrestling. Like they knew I grew up in it. They watched me grow up, so it was easy for them to help me.
Absolutely. Well, that's very good. So on this, also kind of on that same thing. You said you started training when you were 13. You said
12.
12. Okay. So you started pretty young. Was that difficult for you when you were in the industry, being so young, or did that kind of help you?
It was kind of a back and forth thing, kind of like I got a lot of like spark up in Indiana. That's really it because no one else really wants to book like a 12-year-old,
Yeah.
Here in Indiana, it helped a little because like a lot of people heard about it and was like, oh, these two little kids are out here wrestling and they're pulling actually some of the moves off. Like it's kind of impressive. But then you always got your vets that are like, kids shouldn't be in the ring. You should wait till you're 18.
Yeah.
That thing. And then other promoters didn't want to book us because they're like, well, why are kids doing this? This is not a thing for kids. So there was just some people liked it, some people didn't.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess that's kind of understandable because I've talked to many people who have started very young. I talked to like Corey Storm, for instance, and excuse me, and I know he started very young. And last week we had a guy on. He's a pretty cool guy, and he started really, really young too. So, have you ever met anybody else who has started when they were in that age area, and have you seen them progress?
I've met John Wayne Murdoch. He started very young too. He was one of those he started young in Tennessee, and he's he's IWA World Champion now. Like he's done a lot since then. He's wrestled for CZW.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's done all that, and that was pretty cool to see. And then the other person I met was Corey Storm, which that kid, he's doing good right now. He's on the right track if he just keeps it up. Like as long as he keeps his head in it,
yeah,
he'd be good.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I actually saw you wrestle and him wrestle at the Ted Petty Invitational last year. So I saw you get to go up against Chris Hero.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was one of my favorite matches.
And I was going to ask you before we move on, how was that match? What was that like for you? And how did he treat the match?
Well, for me, that was really big accomplishment for me. That Ian trusted me to wrestle Chris Hero in the Ted Petty session. Like that's Chris Hero's home,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I felt so good that I got to wrestle him in the Ted Petty Invitational. That could have been his last one ever, because since he got re-signed, that could have been his last Ted Petty Invitational ever.
Yeah, definitely.
So knowing that, I feel even more honored to be able to be the one to wrestle him, and it was the one he won too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so definitely
because he's just
go ahead.
Awesome all around. It was just awesome all around.
Yeah, definitely. Because he's in the WWE now, Cassius Ohno, which I saw the other day, which is pretty cool. So I bet that's definitely a very, very cool moment, I'm sure, for you. So.
Yeah.
Pardon me. So you're part of a great generation of independent wrestling. The independent wrestling scene is, I think, probably at one of the peaks right now. So in your opinion, what is the best and worst parts of independent wrestling right now?
The best and worst parts. Well, to me, the best part is there's so many people who started out young now that I can relate to them better. Because since I'm still very young, I'm only 17, so I'm still not that old. So it's cool that there's so much more young wrestlers that are finally starting to get booked. Like promoters actually seeing young kids can actually do this and be good at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a good thing. I'm glad the age barrier is not really a problem anymore. And one of the worst things I'd say could be there's just so much good talent. Too many naturals nowadays. Everybody's a natural. It's just everybody picks up on it. You got to make you want to work harder if you want it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of good talent that I've seen, and I just think that if you keep up with it, I mean, I think first of all, I think you can go far, but as well, just in general, keeping up with that kind of stuff, it's because there's going to be a new wave coming in soon too, and you just got to keep it up, step it up, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, we kind of talked a little bit about who's been there to train you, and who's been there to kind of be your guiding light. But is there anybody else that of importance that you think has taken you under their wing or advised you out and helped you out other than your family?
Someone that's really took me out under the wing is also I would have to say Ian helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
He helped me out with a lot because my dad helped me for most of my career, but when I first went down to IWA, I was still kind of in a shell, shy, still this young kid that only been to certain promotions, And when I went to Ian, he kind of helped me break out of my shell. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
He helped me a lot with that.
That's good. Pardon me. So, as we've talked about to a great length, you're pretty much just starting out your career, and you're starting to make your mark and really get out there in more areas. And you've worked in several new states already this year. What's it like going to a new area and wrestling in it for the first time?
Well, for me, it's like it's very exciting because I love change. I'm one of those people. I love different. Like I love the stuff that's different. I get bored of the same old stuff real easily.
Yeah,
like
understandable.
I just get really bored. I just like new. I like something new. Like when people that don't know me, and I hear throughout the match how they start to like me as I wrestle. I like that. I don't like just coming out and they know who I am and they just feel obligated to cheer me because they know me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like to earn the fans to come like cheer me. I like to make them cheer me. So that's a really big one for me.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I can definitely speak from experience here is that when I saw you wrestle with Chris Hero, I was definitely rooting for you.
Thank you, man.
No problem. It was definitely an honor, and like I tell everybody I have on here, I typically stalk the person's social media before talking to them. So I try to find whatever I can about them, find some dirt, look them up on YouTube, stuff like that. So I've seen quite a few of your matches, and I definitely got to say that you definitely can win over a crowd. So I definitely can give you that credit.
Thank you, man.
But also we were we've had a lot of people come on here, and a lot of people talk about the people they wrestle with, especially people who wrestle for IW Mid-South. So I've heard your name pop up with quite a few people, like Corey Storm, Myron Reed, Cole Radrick. So what is it like traveling with these guys? And can you tell us a funny road story about them?
All those guys, first of all, those are all great wrestlers, all of them. Myron, well, I traveled with him to a couple of places, and there was one story where we're going down to Chicago, I think. Yeah, we're going down to Chicago, and we're sitting there. And when we get there, we're hungry. We just want to get some food for the show. And we pull into this Taco Bell. And let me tell you, don't ever let Myron order food ever. This man is the worst. Like, we started a line that started all the way back to the road, people trying to order food, because he could not make up his mind. So we're sitting there, and this lady tells us, she finally just gives up and just walks away. She's like, I'll be back, and tries to find somebody else. And we're sitting there for a good 10 minutes. My cars are just lining up behind us over some I think the new double stack tacos. I think they were, and trying to figure out which flavor he wanted or what came on it. It was just terrible. That was forever long.
Oh, good Lord.
That was just one of those little funny moments right there. I don't know, never let him order food ever again.
Definitely, you should make a T-shirt. Don't let Myron Reed order food.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that. Those probably sell out.
So definitely. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're totally fine. Go ahead and go.
No, I was gonna say, if you got something else to say, go for it, man. But
I was just gonna say, for Corey, I haven't traveled that much with him, so I don't really have any stories with him. And I'm pretty sure Cole already told all of our funny ones.
He's told a couple. He's told a couple, man. He's you guys seem like you have too much fun on the road.
Oh, yeah, we have had some close calls on the road. I like to have fun with that.
So, obviously, when you wrestle and stuff, you do make friends. And from how I've talked to her, I've heard Cole talk about you, and I've heard other people talk about you. So, what do these guys mean to you? What do these people you've met in wrestling mean to you?
Well, to me, they're like my brothers.
Yeah.
I like to look out for them. They like to look out for me. That's pretty much they're just people that I know I can trust. If I ever need help, I know they'll tell me hey, you messed up this, you messed up that, clean this up, and I know I can do the same for them, and no one would get mad.
Yeah.
So they're just like family.
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely got to have family in this business, because I can, from what people say, it can be a kind of a harsh road.
I've seen it. I've seen my dad get backstabbed by friends a lot in wrestling. It's rough in the business. If you don't know what you're doing, you can't be too friendly, because it can come back and get you.
Definitely. So, as we kind of wind down this interview, we always ask everybody we have on here, we always ask them, what's one thing that your fans don't know about you?
Oh, man. I know my fans, man. That's a hard one. Huh. It's a really good question to start asking on podcast. It's a really good question, so kudos to you guys for that one.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, every time we ask this, though, typically either the answer is they always know everything about me, or I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah. That one right there just proved it. Man. I swear there's something fans don't know about me that I could tell them without no problem. I'm just trying to think about it. Oh, God, I never thought I'd been stuffed on the podcast this bad.
No, you should have heard, I think it was John Wayne. Yeah, it was John Wayne Murdoch. We had him on here a couple weeks ago, and it stumped him too, so don't worry.
So I'm not the only one, not the first one, so we're good there.
No, you're not the first and probably will not be the last. Here's something. My dream college is North Carolina University. Like, I've always wanted to go there. Like, it's one of my very big dreams to go there. Oh wow, definitely. And the wrestling business down there is really awesome too. You know, that's where. Oh gosh, what is it that's down there?
Well, CWF's down there.
Yeah, that was it.
Carolina.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what it was
I
called.
was just down there. I was just down there like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, right on. Excuse me. So, as we move forward, you know, it's January, it's 2017, and we've embarked on a brand new journey with this new year. So, what is Johnathan Wolf's goals for 2017?
I want to at least wrestle in a different country, like 2 at the most. So try to at least get 2 countries in, because we're close to Mexico and Canada. So if I can, I at least try to get booked in like one of those countries, just to add them to my resume of places. Like, it's cool to go to states, but I want to go to countries.
Absolutely. Definitely, and that's a good goal. There's a lot of good. There's got a lot of good wrestling like businesses in both areas, so definitely we'll be on the lookout for that. So as well, who is on your list of guys you'd like to wrestle in the near future?
One of the guys I really want to wrestle is Dave Chris. I've wrestled him in like tag matches and all that, but I want to get a singles with him. I also would like to get a singles match with Sami Callihan.
Absolutely.
Because from watching him in Cole's matches, like, he's phenomenal. I want to share that moment with him. I want to get in the ring with him. Such a great worker.
Yeah, definitely.
And another one is Rob Conway. I'm really good friends with him, and I just want to get one match with him. You learn so much from him because he's done so much in his career.
Absolutely. Yeah, and say a lot of people. I've had to talk to many people when I ask them for a list. Either A, they don't have one, or B, they have like 8 billion people. So your list is actually pretty good. It's pretty moderate.
Yeah, I just try to keep a handful of guys that I like to keep like reasonable people on my list. Like, I wouldn't say somebody I know there's no way I'm getting unless it's a couple years down the road.
Yeah, well, hey, but you know what I will also say is that keep your eyes, or what is it? Keep your head up and shoot for the stars, because you never know, you might catch one.
Yeah.
So as we kind of finish up the podcast, what are your social medias? I might know your social medias because I stalk them, but what are your social medias so that other people who aren't creepy can find you?
You can find me on Facebook at Johnathan Wolf. You can find me at Twitter at IK3Wolf. And you can find me on Instagram at Team Johnathan.
All right, so everybody, go follow him on all of these social mediums because you're gonna want to follow this guy's career. He's going places. So as well, thank you so much, Johnathan, for coming on here and just chit chatting with me, laughing it up and good stuff like that. It's definitely been a pleasure, sir.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me. Anytime again.
Absolutely. Maybe we can have you come on later down the road. Maybe when you visited Mexico.
That'd be awesome.
All right, man. Well, hey, thank you so much. Keep up the good work and stay awesome, man.
Hi, you too, man.
Check out Geek Stew for all your geek and wrestling news and podcasts. Visit geek-stew.com. Gather round for life lessons from professional wrestling's own Mance Warner. It's Warner Wisdom.
All right, people. I see a little red dot on this old phone here, so that means we're live. Now, is your favorite wrestler of mine? Me! Old Mancer, King of Big Dog Style, Larriton Light Beer, Mancer, Old Mancer, Groundhog, King of Big Dog Style. So many nicknames. You know them all. I know most of them. Sometimes I forget them. I like to drink light beer. That's what occurs. Now, today is the Super Bowl. This is a Sunday. I'm out here filming, recording, whatever you want to call this for the podcast. That's going to go on the iTunes, going to go on the YouTuber, going to go on the, SoundCloud, Instagram, whatever. There's links. You click on them, you go listen to them or whatnot. Now, as old Master said, today is Sunday. It's the Super Bowl. That means I'm going to be drinking me a lot of light beers tonight. Probably as soon as I get done doing this right here. I may pop one open right now. Oh, looky right there. I got me one right here. There we go. I'm good to go, people. Hold on here. Tasty. It's good. Cold, crisp. Get the job done. Now, old Master just got back from hitting the town up, beating some people up, selling some t-shirts, getting my green and my white. Now I'm going to relax today, people. It's the Super Bowl. I'm going to drink some light beers, hang out with some good people. And I'm going to relax. I'm going to chillax. Old Master going to sit back, have me a couple dozen of these light beers. Now, over this weekend, I'm dying out here, people. Over this weekend, I had some people come up to old Master and they said, "Oh, Master, what do you do?" I go, "What do you mean, what do I do?" And they go, "What do you do when you ain't out here handing out a million wackadoos?" Wackadoo. They said, "What you do when you ain't out here handing out all them wackadoos and just beating people down? What do you do in your free time, old Master?" So today on Warner's Wisdom, I'm gonna let y'all know what old Master does when he's chilling out, laying back, relaxing, having a good time. Let me get another drink real quick here, people. Hold on here. Hold on. That's good. Okay. I got me a little list here I'm going to go over. And explain to you people what old Master does in his free time when I'm out there relaxing. All right. Number one. Numero uno. Fishing. Ain't nothing better than spending your day either out on a boat, maybe sitting in a chair, wherever it may be, out there on the water fishing. It's this old Master and the water and the fish down in the water. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. Old Master go out there, get on a boat, bring me a bunch of light beer. Maybe I got me a little radio with me, maybe I don't. But I'm out there listening to a little music. Not that garbage you kids listen to nowadays. I don't know what half that even is. I'm out there listening to a little music. Maybe I'm listening to old Led Zeppelin. Maybe old Master out there listening to Freebird on loop over and over again. Maybe old Master out there listening to Michael Hayes singing his theme song. One of the best songs ever made in the world. Michael Hayes, you hear this, baby? I miss you, man. We'll meet up someday. If we're drinking, we probably gonna get in a fight because we probably got some heat we ain't talked about in a long time. That is what it is now. Old Mance out there fishing. It's beautiful, people. It's beautiful. Sit out there, listen to my music. I drink my light beers. You ain't gotta hear about no garbage music. You ain't gotta hear about politics. See, I want to sit out there. See, when I'm out there, I don't got to hear about politics, and I don't got to hear about politics within all wrestling, if you catch my drift. It's a beautiful time. I just sit out there. Now, it goes either one of two ways, and Old Mance out there. It's either a good time, drink my light beers, get me some nibbles, catch me some fish. That's a good time. Or it's an even better time. Because then what happens is Old Mance gets out there. I'm out there listening to some music, listening on Freebird. I'm out there drinking my light beers. I'm fishing. And then I don't get no nibbles. I start getting a little angry. I start losing my cool. Now, as Mance more and more loses his temper, eventually, I get through all my light beers. I lose my mind. I jump right out of the boat, jump right into the water. I start throwing wackadoos. And guess what happens, people? Them fish, they rise right up to the top of the water. So either way, it's good or it's really good. I either catch them when I'm out there fishing, or I catch them when I dive in there and start throwing headbutts and double axe handles. Either way, I'm going to get me some fish. And that's one way Old Mance likes to spend his free time, out there fishing. Another way, this list is too long. I ain't got all day to be going over this whole list, people. I'm starting to lose my cool right now. Now, I'm going to give you one more. Now, I got to get off here now. Number 2. Dose. For my people out there in Mexico. Old Mance love you. He'll be back down there bumping around for you people out there. I love you. I love you. Now. Number 2. Old Mance. I'm getting another drink here. My throat's all killing me now. Old Mance, is free time. Maybe after a show, maybe it's this day I ain't got nothing going on. I like to go find me a little bar. I like to roll up into a bar. Find me a nice seat right at the front. About a bartender up there. Old Mance starts getting his light beers. Now I like going there. I'm low key. I like to just sit there and drink my light beers, listen to whatever crappy music they got playing all in there. Unless it's a good bar and they got some good music. Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? Okay. Now, sit down there. I drink probably about 6, 7, maybe 8, maybe 9, maybe 10, maybe 11, maybe 12. In between there. One of them numbers it's going to be, I tell you. I'm telling you right now. I ain't going to lie to you. I never lied to you before. I'm going to drink that many light beers. And then I start looking around. I start waiting for people to start getting into some situations, some arguments. Start losing their cool. I love it, people. Now, usually in these situations, I'm out here dying trying to talk to you people. Usually these situations occur off of many different things could occur. But the most common ones that the Old Mance sees at the bars are these. These boys start drinking. One guy gets up and bumps into another guy. Maybe he steps on his shoes. They get into a little argument. Or maybe guy's with his old lady. He goes up to go to piss her. Another guy approaches, hits on his old lady. When the guy taking a piss come back, his old lady just tells him, "Hey, that punk ass over there was hitting on me." Because she had a couple drinks too. She likes to get him all riled up and see what he gonna do when someone says something to her. She knows what she's doing. She ain't a dummy. Now, old boy said, old boy turned around. He go, "I'm gonna beat him up now." And these are the type of situation that Mance love, baby. Because old Mance get up and go run right over there. I get them all riled up. Oh yeah, brother, I saw the whole thing. He came right over there, said she had a big old fat ass, and he was gonna lay it down. He was gonna give her all wackadoo. And then the old man, he's ready to rock and roll. Or say the guy stepped on another guy's shoe and they're mad at each other. Whatever it may be. Bumped into each other. Turned off the music. Hit his car out in the parking lot on accident. Whatever it may be. Maybe a guy ordered one of those little pizzas you get like when you're in high school and you at a bar and they got the little pizzas like that and he orders a pizza, he turns around, guy knocks out a damn hand. I don't know. Could be anything go on down there. Y'all people know what I'm talking about. Nah. Either way, old Mance are going to run over there and get it going. I'm gonna get him going. Why? I get to that in a second. Now, I get over there, get them all riled up. They're arguing, they're going at it, they're mad at each other now. Boom! Fists start flying. Now they can't punch worth hell, they're just hitting air, but they're going at it. So I let them go for a little bit. And I'm holding people back. No, let them go. I ain't gonna break up no fight. No, people, let them handle their business. And then old Manser looked right at him. And I turned heel on him, baby. Old Manser running there. Whack-a-doo, whack-a-doo, whack-a-doo. I'm throwing him left and right. I'm throwing headbutts. Big boots. Now get him up, bust him, cut him right back down. Chop him down, big old lariat, people. I like to get people riled up. And then I turn the heel on him. I beat him down. Now, if I'm at a bar and ain't nobody getting into it, then old Manser just I drink and drink and drink, and then I turn around and stand up on my stool, stand up high on it, and I pronounce a battle shall ensue. Any man in here, or a big old large gal, look like a man, mustache maybe a trucker, whoever it may be, step forward, if you shall, and engage in combat with old Manser. Either way, that's not how my speech always goes. It's just coming off the top of my head right now. Now, my list is too long. I ain't going to go through this whole list. I ain't got all day to do all that business. But that's two of them. I like fishing. I like fighting. I like drinking light beer. Oh, I guess that's number 3. I like drinking light beer. It's a good time. Sit out there, drink my light beer, have a good time. Now, old Manser still feel like shit, so I ain't going to be out here no more. I can barely talk. I can't breathe. I got to get my light beers going. I got to find my fanny pack. Got to find my damn snakeskin boots. I got me a new pair of blue jeans. Real nice. Feel real good. Real good on me. Still got to break them in. Feel good, not as good as they're going to be in a little bit. Once I get a couple light beers and my fanny pack going, I'm ready to rock and roll, people. All right. I'll see y'all people next time. This is the best part of the Dave Dynasty show. Dave's pretty good. Manser. Hey, man, I'm Manser. You people know this now. All right, people. See you next time. As long as I don't die from whatever I got. Jeez, out here. Jesus Pete's. I'm going to take these cold and cough and mix it in with my goodie bag and see what it does. All right, people. I'll see you next time here on the Dave Dynasty show. Go on the YouTube, the Facebook, the SoundCloud, the iTuners, the what's the other one? Instagrammer, the Tweeter. Share, retweet, send me your questions. I answer them all here. I'll tell you stories about whatever. Maybe I'll go in that Michael Hayes seat me and him got. Old PS Michael Hayes and me, we going at it. One of my best friends, but good Lord, we start drinking, we get into it, man. I can't help it. This is the way it's gonna be. All right, people, see you next time. Same place, same place.
Hey, welcome back to the Dave Dynasty Show. We had a spectacular little interview with Johnathan Wolf, third-generation young wrestler.
Cool dude.
Bright future. We had a little wisdom from Mance Warner, as we do every week. Makes us all smarter. Makes the world a better place. When old Mance spreads the wisdom. The wisdom.
Spreads the wisdom.
Yeah. Speaking of Mance, he got him a Pro Wrestling Tee store, so check him out. Get you one of those Lariat Light Beer shirts. As he says, they're beautiful.
They're beautiful, baby.
So, yeah, check him out. You can follow Mance on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm sure there's links everywhere. Check him out on Pro Wrestling Tees. Buy him a shirt. Support old Mance, or he's got a beer habit. He needs the support. He's out paying the light bills, working the road. So
habits are indeed a thing.
So, yeah. So, all right, we have all that. I'm not going to announce who we have on next week.
Yeah.
Because I got an interview I got to do here in the next day or two. I can't really disclose who that is ahead of time. But this is a good guest. Very good guest, very relevant.
Yes.
We actually have a couple of really, really good guests that we're doing interviews with this week. Very excited about these guys, but can't disclose. Don't want to jinx us anyway, but
Yep.
can't disclose. So it's in the bag. Interview's done.
Yep.
So as soon as it's done, watch social media. We'll announce it, put it all out there.
It's going to be good stuff.
It
You
is,
want to
so-
be here with this.
Yeah, you do, because these are very, especially a couple of them are very relevant to news stories now. Cool stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, speaking of social media, visit us, DaveDynasty.com. Links to everything there in the world. That's the center of the hub. You can find everything you want from that site. Very simple, DaveDynasty.com. You can check out Ike on Twitter. There's a link there on DaveDynasty.com. But what is your Twitter? Let's throw it out there.
My Twitter is @PintSizeBeast, and that is also my Instagram.
Yes, he's on Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, I.
And hey, guys, he likes pictures of your junk, of your genitalia. So DM him.
I don't know about that, so
Put your penis in his DM.
maybe do not slide in my DMs.
Slide it on in.
Slide it on in, he says.
Yeah, and hey, speaking of things, we just put out another episode of Wrestling Booze that came out a day or two ago.
Yep.
Exclusively on YouTube. So check us out on YouTube. We had a grand old match from 1987 for the United States title. Lex Luger versus Dusty Rhodes. Go ahead. Do your shitty ass Dusty Rhodes impersonation.
It's the American dream, Dusty Rhodes, baby. I'm still working on it, guys, but
A lot of work.
don't worry, it'll get there.
Yeah, so check out Wrestling Booze. Got that cool match. Got a very, very, very funny, cool promo with Dusty we put on before it, and a Mellow Yellow commercial.
Drink Mellow Yellow, baby.
It's a beautiful world when you get Dusty Rhodes plugging Mellow Yellow. So check us out on YouTube. Again, at DaveDynasty.com. There is a link there. I think we're done for the week. That's it.
I think so.
We got a lot of work to do over the next few days with these cool-ass interviews.
Yes,
Good
sir.
stuff. Watch us on social media. Like, share us, rate, review, do all that stuff. Help spread the word. Like a bad disease, we need to spread. I hope we're a good thing, not a bad
Yeah, I was
disease.
going to say, it was like a... It's kinda
Help
like,
spread the word. Help get us out there. I'm Dave Dynasty.
and I'm Ike Isaacs.
Yeah, we will see you next week. Be good, be safe, and keep on growing. Thank you.